quite some time, but I am now ready to start working on trying to get this tarp off here. I guess it's been a little over a year. I checked on it a couple months ago. Looked like there's a little bit of surface rust where I put the new sheet metal. So I haven't had this off in probably 6 months. So let's see how bad it is. Yeah, it's about like it was before. Just a little bit of surface rust that'll clean right up. Not bad. Kind of gives it a little patina, but I don't think I'll leave that raw. I think the whole thing's gonna get painted. Going to attempt to get this thing loaded on that trailer. It's like a UTV, ATV trailer. This thing probably weighs, I don't know, 1,000 pounds as it is. Not that heavy, so. But if I recall correctly, last time I tried moving this thing, the rear end was locked up. So, going to use the white truck to pull it down the driveway, kind of get it out somewhat in the road, and then use a winch to get it up onto the open trailer. So hopefully that'll go pretty good. Don't really know what's going on with the rear end. It has a locker. I don't know if that's hung up somehow or if there was fluid that, like water that got in there and it rusted, seized itself up, or what the deal is. But I'll get that figured out, get it loaded on the trailer, get it out to the shop. Oh, we're good to move over. Ready to go. Over. Did it hit? No? Did you see? Did you see where I floored it so you didn't hit me?
I was waiting for impact.
I thought it was going to happen. I was like, oh God!
And then I was like, no!
We saved it!
Damaged the car!
Okay. Time to get it onto there.
Good job.
This is gonna take forever. Holy crap. Well, folks, we are nearly at the home stretch. I really do not recommend this method if you can help it. Oh, that ought to ride like that, don't you think? Sure. At least it's got partial shade over here. It's cooled down a little bit. It's only like 85 instead of 95, so that's good. Or maybe it's 95, not 105. I don't know. One of the two. Thinking I'm fueled by Bojangles this morning. successfully got the car back to the shop. 3 out of 4 tires hold air, so you know, 75%, pretty good. Okay, so the first thing is seeing if we can get this motor into the car. Now I know already, and I'll pull it off in a second, the 350 without cylinder heads is pretty close to the top of the hood. I really don't want to have to cut this hood and put a cowl on it, but I might have to. This 5.3 has pretty tall truck manifold on it, so I'll see what kind of clearance there is with that. I'm thinking likely the hood is about like right there. So I mean that's 8 inches or so of manifold or intake manifold that's gonna stick out potentially. Probably. But we go ahead and pop the front clip off of this guy and see what we got to work with. Stripped down, ready to go in. Took the headers off because those are regular rear mounting manifolds, so they would actually hit right here on my firewall. So what I'm gonna have to do is probably get some forward facing manifolds. This thing's gonna have a turbo on it at some point too, so it'll probably be the best option. I'm going to attempt to put this thing in here and record at the same time. Came out alright like that, but we'll see how it goes in. Let's see. Transmission looks like it's pretty close to lined up. Tiny bump right there. Yeah, those holes are just a little bit out. So, but I'll go ahead and see if I can get this thing put in there. That is how you do an LS, well, a small block Chevrolet to LS single-handedly with one hand. It wasn't that bad. So it looks like should have pretty good header clearance. Might have to nip this just a little bit. I think what I'm going to do is actually bend this back and make a triangulated bracket and bolt it straight to there. So I think that's on both, yeah, it's on both sides. So that'll be a pretty good spot. Looks like we got like an 1/8 of an inch clearance. That's perfect. Everything seems to clear. Everything's good to go. Had to extract a few exhaust manifold bolts. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started making these motor mounts. Shouldn't be too hard. Probably just make a little triangle plate and pop some holes in it with the iron worker. Shouldn't take, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes. And then, wow. No, see, that hood is never gonna fit. Never, ever, ever. I mean, if I have to cut it, I have to cut it, but for now, I'll probably leave the hood off and maybe see about getting one of those low profiles that hopefully sits somewhere right, you know, something closer to the bottom. I don't know. If I can get that thing to fit with the hood, that would be sweet, but we'll see. All right, I'll update again when I get these mounts mocked up. All right, here's the I can flip it around the right way. So here's the mount. It's going to weld like that. And then the other one, same deal, like that. So, go ahead and tighten these down. Drag the welder out. Put some healthy beads on it, you know, something sturdy enough. Should keep it from moving side to side. And forward and back is controlled by the firewall. It's all tied in, so it shouldn't go anywhere. If it needs to move any, there is, you know, a little movement in this. I mean, I can do a triangular brace going down, but probably won't because that'll get in the way of a radiator. So I'm gonna drag the welder out, put a little bead on it, and then take the straps off and see what it looks like. Well, I think I'm gonna call it a day. Got the engine in there. Transmission is mated as well. Not the one I'm going to be running, but it is in there. I guess there's probably more than two things. The two things for right now. This intake manifold is going to be way too tall for that hood. Also, the water pump comes into contact with my little mount, so I'll probably just, you know, cut a little sliver out of it just to make it work. I might look into a electric water pump, maybe. I don't know. It would definitely simplify things. Because then all I have to run is an alternator, and I don't know where I'd mount that really. Maybe a reverse mount somewhere right here. I don't know. Figure that out. Yeah, this little guy's got to be trimmed just a little bit to get some headers on there. I need a radiator, but I don't know. Everything looks pretty good. It sits in there real nice. The sensor is going to be pretty close right there, but I think it'll be fine. I can take, that's angle. This frame is angle, so I can just take a little notch and notch that. No problem. Let's see what else. Oh, look, get an oil filter. Perfect. Perfecto. Oh, yeah, fits real good. Even those shocks. It's not out of suspension. It's close. Those springs might actually work. I don't know. I do know that I am going to source another steering rack. I've got like 1/16 of an inch gap underneath, if you can even see that. There it is, right underneath the oil pan. Just barely enough, but there's enough to pull this rack. You just pull it all the way straight through and it comes out. And then the boot slips on like that there. I guess the other thing, you need to make sure all the these bushings are decent shape on the little A-arms and stuff on this. It's a pretty simple little design, honestly. Nothing crazy. But I think they sell like whole, you know, refurbished kits, whatever you want to call them, bushing stuff, you know, everything to freshen up the front suspension on one of these deals. So I think next I'm going to bring over that wiring harness, kind of start laying out some stuff. Should be able to put a battery right here. Should be plenty of room. Might have to get one of those smaller batteries, smaller with some decent cranking amps still, but yeah, it's be pretty sweet. It already looks pretty good. I mean, that sits so high, it almost looks like, you know, on a regular car, if you had a blower that stuck up that high, it kind of has that look. But I don't think I'm going to keep that. I don't want to cut that hood, really. But I guess I'll see how much clearance it has. Because, I mean, it may run like that, you know. It gets really low, so I don't know. Even if I get one of those other manifolds, if I'll even have enough clearance. But that'll wrap it up for today. Thanks for watching. Alright, got the Triumph about as far as it's gonna go this week. Went to the local pull apart and got some coils, a starter, fuel injectors and rails, also an alternator. The only problem is plugs on this harness are for EV1 injectors. These are not EV1 injectors, so I'm going to have to purchase some. I think they're about $70 for a set, so that's not too bad. Did get the water pump fit on. Just had to clearance the motor mount just a little bit. Got to get some gaskets for this, and then an alternator mount sensor, maybe a MAF sensor as well. Let's see, got the wiring for ECU, also transmission control stuff, which won't be a big deal because I am running a manual valve body. So I'll just need like vehicle speed sensor, reverser solenoid, and a trans brake solenoid, which are the same thing. But gotta get some headers mocked up on here, and change the oil or put some oil in it, change the filter. Once I get that ECU put in there, it'll be about ready to fire up, just to make sure, you know, this engine doesn't knock or have any excessive issues. But yeah, it's coming along. Should be too much more to go, and can have this thing at least running. I gotta get a radiator. Not much space here to deal with, so it'll probably be, I don't know, a skinny little radiator. Maybe can fit down in here as low as possible without contacting, you know, the ground or anything. But I get all that figured up. Then don't need a clutch pedal, but I don't know, I may use this brake pedal as the throttle and the clutch pedal as the brake. I don't know, I might just shift that pedal over, kind of run it over and underneath as the accelerator pedal. I don't know, I'll figure something out. Also got to figure something out with the steering column. But yeah, just a couple of odds and ends as far as just getting this thing kind of set up just for, you know, initial startup and stuff. But just about there on this.